Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to give you guys my thoughts of what I saw from the New York Jets this morning in training camp. As you guys can see, I'm not in my normal setup. I am actually in a hotel right in Florham Park, New Jersey, because I'm staying here overnight because I'll be back at practice again tomorrow. And I do live on Long Island, New York, and it's a terrible drive back home, and I do not want to go there and back-to-back days. So I thought, hey, I'm going to get a hotel in New Jersey to spend the night. So in this video, I want to give you guys my thoughts. Again, what we saw this morning, some injury news, and just basically my report. And today was an interesting day of practice because they only had helmets on. They had no pads. So it wasn't really a high energy type of day. They coming off a game on Thursday. So it was really like nothing really a lot to talk about in this video. But there are some things that I definitely want to break down that I took away from the most in today's training camp this morning. Day number 11. So you do have to give a big shout out to the Hall of Famers of Darrelle Revis and Joe Klecko. They were officially honored today. Really awesome stuff. So congratulations to our two New York Jets entering the Hall of Fame. Now, let's get into what we saw this morning. So starting off with some injury news, Garrett Wilson, he was expected to be back at practice today, according to Robert Saleh a couple days ago, but he's not practicing just yet. But I did see Garrett Wilson over there in the rehab portion of the field, and he looks great. He is running routes. He is making acrobatic catches, and according to Robert Saleh, he will be back just in time for the Carolina Panthers versus New York Jets joint scrimmages, which I will actually be in attendance for in South Carolina. I'm going to be there for both of them. So I cannot wait to give you guys my thoughts of those practices. So good news on Garrett Wilson. He'll be back for those. He did not, it seems like the Jets are just trying to ease him in there. They do not want to rush him back. His ankle's feeling fine. It's a low ankle sprain. Those tend to take 1 to 2 weeks to heal up. So nothing to be concerned about with Garrett Wilson. Now getting into what happened on the practice field this morning, let's start off with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers definitely had a good day today, especially in red zone drills. So the first play I want to talk about is his dime to Corey Davis over the middle of the field. This is just what Aaron Rodgers can do. Corey Davis is not open on this throw, and you see Aaron Rodgers squeak in this ball in between Bryce Hall and the safety. There's not a window besides for Aaron Rodgers to connect with. And the fact that Corey Davis was able to connect with this ball from Aaron Rodgers just shows you the type of quarterback that he is. And I know that it might not seem like it's a lot just because it's practice, but as a Jets fan who's been to training camp forever, since I became a Jets fan, I've never seen quarterbacks make these types of throws, even if it looks simple, from a quarterback on the New York Jets. It's serious. So that was a really cool play, and I think Corey Davis is going to have a big-time impact in this offense more than people really think. His first 2 seasons with the Jets was up and down, struggled with some drops, struggled with some injuries, did not have consistent quarterback play. You give Corey Davis and Aaron Rodgers, I'm not going to say he's going to put up 1,000 yards, but I think Corey Davis can give the Jets like 700, 800 yards and a couple like 4, 5, 6 touchdowns this season, because Corey Davis is a damn good player, and I think that he has a lot of upside in this offense. So cool to see him connect with Aaron Rodgers and get that chemistry early on. Another thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, he definitely seems to be really liking Malik Taylor. Now, Malik Taylor had a really good play Thursday night from Zach Wilson against the Cleveland Browns in the Hall of Fame game. That big-time throw from Zach Wilson, that was to Malik Taylor. Now, Malik Taylor is running with the ones, guys. I am noticing Malik Taylor is being involved. Now, maybe that's because Garrett Wilson's down, but we might have to start talking about Malik Taylor potentially being that wide receiver number 6. And I know some people are like, whoa, Richie, that's Jason Brownlee. I want Jason Brownlee to be wide receiver 6 as well. I'm just telling you guys how I see it right now, because Jason Brownlee is not getting the reps over Malik Taylor. Malik Taylor is a former Packer. He has a chemistry with Aaron Rodgers, and it seems like Aaron Rodgers really likes Malik Taylor a lot. Not to say he doesn't like Brownlee, but that's definitely an interesting thing to keep in mind when we're talking about that wide receiver 6 spot and who's going to make that 53-man roster. So Malik Taylor had a really good big gain from Aaron Rodgers today. Rodgers also tried to connect with Malik Taylor 2 separate times deep down the field, was not able to connect on those. Actually, Aaron Rodgers was 0 for 3 today in terms of connecting on deep balls. He tried 2 deep balls to Malik Taylor. Both of them were incomplete. He tried one of them actually on a flea flicker. He handed it off to Michael Carter. Carter dishes it back to Rodgers, and Rodgers threw a go ball to Randall Cobb, which was incomplete with Michael Carter the second in coverage. So Aaron Rodgers is still trying to get that deep ball accuracy. Is not really connected on any of them, at least at camp that I've been at so far. So Rodgers still trying to figure that out, but I'm not too concerned. That deep ball accuracy, he's one of the best in the game, and it's just a matter of time until it connects. Now, not really a scary part of practice. I was not concerned because I was watching Aaron Rodgers the whole time, but some people at practice and some people on Twitter were freaking out. Rodgers got stepped on. I think it was from Jermaine Johnson because he beat Billy Turner, and he got to Rodgers, and he accidentally stepped on Rodgers' ankle, and he didn't tweak his ankle or anything. Rodgers just had like a cut on his ankle, a little nice bloody cut up, and then Rodgers kind of limps off back, and then Zach Wilson replaces him with the first team. But I was watching Rodgers that whole time on the sideline to see if he's going to get checked out by the trainers. Does he roll his ankle? What happened? But he looked fine. He just was waving people off. He's like, I'm good, I'm good. So I was not worried. And then Rodgers came back out there and played in the red zone drills, which was probably the best Rodgers we saw of the day. So Aaron Rodgers is so good at just being... We all know what he brings to the table in terms of arm talent and his ability to just be a veteran and be able to just organize the offense. But I think that people are underestimating his athleticism at age 39, because the amount of times that we're seeing Aaron Rodgers move around the pocket and escape pressure and roll to the left, roll to the right, and flick the ball across his body, and it has a lot of velocity. It's really awesome to see. So there was one play that was definitely don't want to see ever happen in an actual game. I think maybe I'm hoping Hackett was just trying to experiment here, but as you guys see in this clip here, Rodgers did a little jet sweep to McCole Hardman, and Hardman decides to throw a ball to Corey Davis, I believe, for a touchdown, and Jordan Whitehead picked him off. So, all right, they got that play out of the way in practice. Never do that again. Just don't take the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hand. If you have Aaron Rodgers, you don't need to try a trick play with Hardman throwing the football. But then after that, Rodgers comes back out there with a touchdown to Jeremy Ruckert. Now, this is a really beautiful throw from Aaron Rodgers. Will McDonald did have a good pass rush rep here. You could argue that Will McDonald could have got to the quarterback if there was an actual live pass rush in a game, but Rodgers eludes the pressure. He escapes it, rolls to his left, kind of fades away and flicks that thing, zips it to Jeremy Ruckert in the front left corner of the end zone, and Ruckert with a fantastic grab. That's a touchdown for the New York Jets. And then the next red zone drill, there's 4th and goal from the 10-yard line, and Aaron Rodgers flicks the ball to Allen Lazard on a nice 10-yard go route, or 10-yard out route, excuse me, and then Lazard gets in there. So that's 2 touchdowns. The defense had to do push-ups, and that ended practice, and that's the Aaron Rodgers report. So he looked really efficient in the red zone, and that's so refreshing, because don't forget, Jets fans, last year the red zone offense was so bad. So it's cool to see this offense really take their confidence to another level in terms of the red zone in practice. You got to practice well if you want to play well on game days. Now let's talk about Zach Wilson, because Zach Wilson looked really good. I mean, I'm talking about probably one of the best practices I've seen from Zach Wilson, and I've been to every open practice for the fans so far. He just looks so confident and poised and just like ready to go. He just seems like he has such a different demeanor this season, and his swag is coming back. He's got that headband back on, which is cool to see Zach Wilson rocking that, because we all know that that's what he was known for out of BYU. But the one thing I noticed about Zach Wilson that I think is the most important part of his development is his pocket presence. His ability to step up into the pocket, throw with his feet set, and not, have his feet sloppy all over the place, throwing off his back foot. He was stepping up into his throws, had multiple darts over the middle of the field. One to Randall Cobb, one to Irvin Charles, one to McCole Hardman when McCole Hardman was, I think it was man coverage with Michael Carter II. He was in the slot. There's an in route over the middle. Carter II was all over him, but Zach Wilson put the ball only where Hardman can get it away from him, and he caught it, and it was a really beautiful throw. So multiple times where I'm looking around thinking like, damn, Zach, that's pretty good. And you could feel the crowd saying like, let's go, Zach. Like, they're all excited to see the progression of Zach Wilson. So definitely a positive sign for the development of Zach Wilson. Cannot wait to see what he does in the second preseason game against the Carolina Panthers. Now, other players that stood out to me outside of the 2 quarterbacks, Will McDonald continues to flash. I mean, every time I see that man, I'm impressed. His body is different. His athleticism is freakishly just... It was ridiculous watching Will McDonald in person. It really is every time. But we do have to realize that today there's no pads on, so it's really hard to evaluate the run game and the pass rush and the overall trenches on both sides when there's no pads on. But I will have to say Will McDonald was winning a lot of his reps. Some notes that I took from the offensive line. Billy Turner goes back to left tackle. Max Mitchell goes back to right tackle. As you guys remember, that's how they started off training camp, and then they actually switched roles. Max Mitchell went to left, and then Billy Turner went to right, and then they're back to where they started. So a lot of moving parts on that offensive tackle spot. Mekhi Becton is still the backup left tackle, and we're still waiting for Dwayne Brown to get back off the PUP list. So a lot of moving parts across that offensive tackle position, and Connor McGovern is back at center because Wes Schweitzer actually was the guy taking snaps with Aaron Rodgers this past week. So the center position seems like it's Connor McGovern to win that job, even though Joe Tippmann had a fantastic preseason game against the Cleveland Browns in that Hall of Fame game. It seems like it's going to be Connor McGovern unless Tippmann can really prove to this coaching staff that he's ready to go. But that offensive tackle spot is going to be intriguing to see because we heard Mekhi Becton say some iffy things about his knee after Thursday's game, that it's a little discomfort. So we'll keep an eye on for that. So that's really going to wrap up this video, guys. There's not really too much to break down other than the performance from Aaron Rodgers and the performance from Zach Wilson. You know, again, without pads on, it didn't really feel like there was a lot of, energy and buzz in practice today, because when there's no pads and you're fresh off a game, it's just kind of a walkthrough day, an install day, and Aaron Rodgers trying to get on the same page with all of his receivers. Hopefully we get Garrett Wilson back this next week, and I'm excited to see him back on the damn field. So guys, that's going to wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed, please do me a favor by simply hitting that thumbs up button and commenting your thoughts down below in the comment section. Love you all. Let's go Jets. I'll be back at practice tomorrow. I'll see you guys then.